Hey there, I'm Jen. This is Frida, and we are here to guide you through a very gentle, restorative yoga practice, ideally conceived of as something that you could do before bed, getting ready to turn in for the night to hopefully prepare for, promote, that's the word I was looking for, a more restful night's sleep. So this is a practice where it is a-okay, even encouraged to have your fuzzy socks, your most comfortable clothes, dim your lights. Don't recommend a candle if you fall asleep, fire risk and all that. But additional tools to support you in this practice. Blocks, of course, to help support your knees and various poses, or your seat. Plenty of blankets, and pillows, that kind of thing. I've also got an extra rolled up yoga mat to bring some support underneath my knees when the legs are extended. So, if you need to pause for a moment and go fetch those things, go right ahead and I will meet you back here. And let's begin. We will start seated. We won't be doing any standing poses at all for this practice. So find whatever works for you as a comfortable enough seat. Use any of those tools you have at your disposal. And then let your seat get heavy. Let your spine gently lengthen. Face, eyes, and shoulders relax. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Two more just like that. Imagine you're fogging up a mirror with your exhale. And now allow your breath to return to its natural pace, its natural rhythm. Maybe taking a moment to consciously delineate this time where you are winding down your day, setting aside anything that might need to carry over to tomorrow. And perhaps see if you can bring to mind one good thing from today. One thing you could feel gratitude for, one thing that makes you feel a little warm inside, or maybe brings a smile to your face. That one good thing could be, I am choosing to take care of myself before I turn in for the night. And then allow your awareness to come to your breath, the inhale and the exhale. And then let's start to move the head and neck a little bit. So just take your time, maybe starting some gentle neck circles. Maybe move through your jaw as well. Your jaw could move forward, back, side to side, open, close. You might switch directions. You might pause and breathe deeply. The neck is one of the more common places we tend to hold and carry tension. So let this be an opportunity for a little release. Even if it doesn't happen, you're creating the space for it, allowing the option for the body to soften when it's ready. We'll do about 3 more breaths here. And then as you're ready, we'll bring the head back up over the shoulders. And let's find our way onto the back with bent knees. You could certainly bring some padding underneath your head or shoulders if you like. We'll bring feet flat to the mat. Your hands could rest on your torso or down alongside you. If you feel your shoulder blades really poking into the mat, maybe shimmy them down a little bit so the chest softens open. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. And then let's start a little bit of pelvic rocking here. So if you think about the pelvic clock exercise we do sometimes, this is like moving from the 12 to 6, or it's like doing a little small cat-cow just in your hips, but lying on our back. You can go as slow as you like. You don't have to match it to the pace of your breath like we often do when we're on hands and knees. If you find a sort of sticky spot, maybe you just pause there, soften into it. And then let's let that go. Come just to a neutral spine. So there's likely a little bit of space under your low back and your tailbone is not touching the mat. Now, keeping the knees fairly steady, just start to press a little into the right low back or right hip, and then roll across your sacrum, the bone that joins your pelvis halves together, and press a little into the left low back or hip. Slow movement side to side. Your knees will likely move a little bit, but we're not letting the knees drive the movement. Primarily just getting a massage across the SI joint where our hips meet our low back. You can pause anywhere you like to pause. You can go as slowly as you need. Shoulders soft, belly soft. And then coming back through center. Let's hug the right knee towards the torso. Now your knee could be in line with your right shoulder or maybe out to the side a little bit. You might clasp your hands around your shin or your thigh, or you might loop a strap or towel around your leg. You could keep that left knee bent, or you could extend your left leg down long, stretching it out. Exhale, soften. You could let this be pretty still, or you could move that right leg some, like you're circling the right knee a little bit, moving the head of the femur, the thigh bone around in the hip socket a little bit. A little massage for that joint. Moving around all the lymph fluid that collects there, helping flush it out. And then let's let that go. Let your right foot come down, and we'll hug the left leg in. Again, it could be in line with your shoulder or out to the side if you prefer. And if it feels okay for your back and leg, maybe you extend that right leg long, but you certainly don't have to. You can still get all the benefit in that left hip with that right leg bent. And again, you could let this be a static place, static pose, or you could move that left knee around a bit. Maybe an exhale out the mouth. And then let's let both feet come back down. We'll do a little bit of breath work and shoulder range of motion movement here. So arms come down beside you, palms facing down. Deep breath in, reaching your fingertips forward, reaching your arms up overhead. And then exhale, pull your arms back forward. Take a few more rounds like this. See if you can time your inhale to match the full range of motion of the arms coming overhead, and the exhale to match you bringing your arms back down beside you. Try to keep the spine pretty still. So we're just working with the shoulders here. One more round. And you can let that go. Slowly, we'll roll over onto one side and rest there. And taking your time, we'll press up and prepare for Supta Bhattachanasana, reclining bound angle pose. So take something like a bolster. So maybe that's a couple pillows, maybe it's a couch cushion, something that will give you some support, and have it going with enough length that it can support your entire torso. You might like a little extra padding up where your head will go. So maybe an extra pillow or a blanket there. Then we'll come with the low back right up against that support. Blocks will come on either side of the knees and the soles of the feet together. Experiment with how far out you like your feet. I like mine pretty far out, because otherwise I get a little pinch in my hip. Your mileage may vary. Also experiment with how you want your blocks supporting your knees. And maybe you're using pillows instead of blocks. As you're ready, We'll come lying back, letting your chest melt open, maybe kind of adjust in your shoulders a little bit. You could rest hands on torso or have your arms sort of down beside you in a neutral position. Or if it feels good for your shoulders, you might take your arms out to the sides like you're a letter T. One other option here is if you've got a blanket, another blanket handy, you could drape it across your belly and hips just to give a little anchor there. So take your time getting settled, no rush. Once you're situated comfortably enough, maybe a deep breath in through the nose and an exhale out the mouth. You might simply follow your breath if your mind is feeling pretty settled. You might come back to that one good thing and let your mind rest on that. Longer time spent in these restorative poses where we can deepen and slow the breath. Tells the brain it's okay to move into rest and digest state of the nervous system. We'll stay here about 3 more breaths. Slow and steady. Now you can use your hands on the outsides of your thighs to gently help your knees come back together. And then we'll slowly roll off of your support, coming back onto your side. Rest there. And then slowly pressing up, we'll make our way to a supported, very supported Paschimottanasana, or seated forward fold. So if you have like that extra rolled up yoga mat, you can bring it underneath your knees. I'm even going to bring a pillow on top of it so that you can get a nice bend where the legs can just relax. Now, if there's a lot of tightness in the low back, you could certainly bring a soft pillow or blanket underneath the hips as well. Then we bring lots of support across the lap. So the big pillows, the blankets, the bolster, whatever you've got, pile it on up. Sitting bones on the mat or on your pillow. And then you can drape your arms over your support. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, hinge forward until you come resting on your support. And then you can let your head go. Maybe have another little bit of padding underneath your head. If you get there and you think, oh, actually, I need to turn something a different way, do that. You can have your forehead down, or you could turn your head to one side. Again, take all the time you need to get situated. We want to be able to find that length in the spine as we fold forward just to a supported place, and then enough support under the knees to where we're not pulling in the hamstrings. Deep breath in. Exhale. And you feel your shoulder blades softening down the back. Sitting bones heavy. Be here with your breath. And let's do about 3 more breaths here. Very slowly. You can let your hands come down beside you and press into them to lift the upper body. You can move all of your props, tools, supports off to the side. And then your choice, depending on how you're feeling, what you feel like you would benefit from, and also your environment. You can come into a legs up the wall or legs over a couch or something like that. Or you could come into a supported bridge pose. So if you wanted to do the supported bridge pose, you could bring a folded up blanket or a block underneath the hips And then have feet flat, hands on the torso, or for legs up the vertical surface. Come seated with one hip up against or close to that vertical surface, and then bring the legs up as we recline back. Your hips absolutely do not need to touch the vertical surface. Further away is a little less strain on the back. You could absolutely also have some support under your head. Either pose, you can rest your hands on your torso or down alongside you. Inhale. Exhale out the mouth. If anything from your day is persistent in your mind, and try not to push it away or get frustrated. Maybe just notice my mind is still caught up in the day. And then perhaps you can redirect a little more of your concentration to that one good thing. Now the next and final asana would be Savasana. If you feel like you would like to do a progressive relaxation in this legs up position instead, that's certainly fine. If you would like to come into the more traditional Savasana position, reclining on the back, extended out, that's fine as well. So I'll give you a few moments to decide and make any adjustments you need. Remembering if you come on the back, you could certainly have a little support underneath your knees and or the back of your head. And again, you might like a blanket across your belly or your chest, either for warmth or for just a little steadiness, little support. Deep breath in. Exhale. Bring your awareness to your feet and allow them to relax and soften. Ankles soften. Legs, hips, and belly. Relax and soften. Relax the lower back, middle back, upper back, and shoulder blades. Relax the ribs and chest, collarbones and shoulders. Arms, wrists, and hands. Relax the neck and throat, jaw and tongue, face, eyes, eyelids and eyebrows, and the space between the eyebrows. Relax the forehead, sinuses, tissues of the brain, skull and scalp. Leave the body by itself to rest. And very slowly, begin to bring some awareness back into your body, feeling your breath. Maybe bringing a little movement to your fingers and toes. If a stretch would feel nice, you could take a stretch. I'll have us conclude this practice here of reclining so that you may take your time finding your way to a bed or sleep with as little disturbance as possible. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti.